I must have seen this song many times. I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to the streaming platforms and watch the song again. I was worried that I wouldn't give you the notes and I myself will keep watching this song again.
Na paata sudu, na paata sudu, na paata sudu, naatu, 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 veera naatu, 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 veera naatu.
Hello, this is S.S. Rajamouli. I'm the director of a Telugu language Indian film RRR, and I'm so happy to be here to give you the notes on the scene, notes on the song Naatu Naatu. The first thing that comes to me when we talk about Naatu Naatu is the location itself. It was shot in Kiev, actually the presidential palace. This was actually supposed to happen in India, but because it was monsoon time then, so we were trying to scout the locations and we found this and I really loved it. And then they told me it's the presidential palace. I thought, oh, maybe then I have to look for another location. But they said, no, this is Ukraine. You can get the job done. And so thankful for the Ukrainian team. The colors of the palace, the size of the palace, the size of the ground for the dancers to be there was the exact right size. Because we are talking about Kyiv, the beautiful thing about the song that many tend not to notice are the background dancers. If you look here, the bunch here, all of them are not extras, all of them are dancers. And if you can see how the men are not comfortable with this, two Indian guys taking their scene over, but the girls are really enjoying the steps. You can see all of them are perfectly enacting the scene before their turn comes when they have to dance. I was really surprised that the level of professionalism the dancers there in Ukraine had. Really loved working with them. The choreographer Prem Rakshit. He has worked with me before, he has worked with Charan before, he has worked with Tarak before. He gave one of the most memorable numbers for both of them. He knows their style, exactly what their body language is. He exactly knows what their fans expect out of them. Here he has a very difficult job because here both the actors have to dance together. Each of them have their own style, but he has to find out a style which will suit both of them as a dancing style which would be not complicated, because I also wanted him to figure out steps which people would like to do for themselves. So it should be nice, it shouldn't be too difficult, it should suit the style of both the actors, and it should be fantastic. Quite a number of instructions, and he has come up with, you wouldn't believe it, more than 100 variations for this 3/4 signature Naatu 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 for that line. I remember he sent me the video. It was going on and on and on and on. And I had difficult time picking up the best 3/4 variations for this style. So the first credit to Prem Rakshit.
I've had enough of this nonsense! You two, out!
No, Jake, I've had enough of your bullying. Oh, wait! No!
This for me is the best step in the entire song. The costume designer Rama, who also happens to be my wife, she didn't give the costumes like a song because it was supposed to be a scene. She gave the costume like a scene, and when Prem saw the dress and he saw the suspenders, he said, "Can I use the suspenders?" She said, "Okay." He composed a couple of steps and he said, if the suspenders are too tight, they can't be doing it so easily. It has to be a little bit loose for the dance step. So it was Prem's idea to bring the suspenders in. And the funny thing is, like, they had the loose suspenders only for this particular shot. Before and after it were tight suspenders. And just in the before shot, when Jenny, she pulls the suspenders and leaves it and says, "Go," the suspenders were actually the tight suspenders and across their chest, and they had a wince on their face, but they were smiling until I said cut. And the moment I said cut, they were like walking away in pain. Even for them, this was the most difficult step, doing all the things on the top, the suspenders moving and sliding. Right foot also has to go to the side and come as they are sliding. I would say the genius of the choreographer. When I instructed him, I told him, yes, for the audience, this is a song, this is fun, they're dancing and everything. But for the story, it is actually a fight scene because it starts off with on a bad note. An English guy is coming and insulting them, humiliating them. But both of them are there on a purpose. They cannot really do a fist fight and blow their cover off. It moves into a kind of competition. You're seeing a song, you're seeing a dance, but in effect, you're getting the emotion of a fight. So that's the instruction that I gave Prem. That's what I needed. You see their body language, how they're standing, how their body movement is. It looks like a fight. That's how brilliant Prem is. Sendil, my cinematographer, this is my 8th film with him. Initially, he shows me what kind of tone that he is looking at for this particular film. He'll give me 2 or 3 references. And then I don't meddle with the lighting or the tonality of the film. My production designer, Sabu, he had a lot of idea on how colonial India was. What the properties were, what the costume colors were. He had a lot of ideas. So he was really rushing through queue to find the right kinds of properties and all these flower arrangements. Sabu was sitting there with the art director there, and he was particularly telling this color should come at the bottom, this color should come at the top, and he was really putting all his effort into it, and Sendil was there to look at. So I don't look at that at all. My job is to see whether my actors are doing the step the correct way that I want to. Their expression is perfect or not. That's the only job I look at it. We were shooting in the presidential palace, like I said, and here is the parliament. Parliament of Ukraine. I was so shocked. I asked my line producer there, is it okay to shoot a song on a full volume right by the side of the parliament in front of the presidential palace? He said, yeah, fine, no problem, go ahead. Only thing is, it will be in actual metallic in color. In post, we made it like a lime plastered. One more point is all the background musicians who are holding the clarinets, the violins and all that stuff, they are also actual musicians. I wanted them to be musicians because they hold the violin properly, they hold the clarinet properly and all that. I asked Anna, is that okay? Can I place the musicians there? Is it okay for them to just stand there and act, not actually play? And, okay, no problem. Go ahead. This is the step which was like on TikTok or all the social media platforms where everyone was trying to do, whether it's friends, brothers, mother and daughter, husband and wife. Everyone were doing the step and posting on the social media, which really, really went viral and helped the film gain the popularity a lot. I like that effect. I mean, it's not new. It has been used many times where the track goes forward and we zoom back. So the artists are always occupying the full frame, but the background really comes forward. Initially, we tried moving it around, but we are losing the essence of the step. So we used this one, just track forward and zoom back. This is where the nightmare started for the costumers. From a solid ground, we moved on to a place where it was dusty. I wanted the dust to fly, but the costumes were made with such a delicate material, and we were making them do the Naatu step in the dust with this dress, and the dress were getting really, really dirty and spoiled. The costumers had to make 2 dresses, 3 dresses, and every day they had, after the shoot, they had to go and clean them very delicately. It's not that you can put them in a washing machine and take them out. They had to be hand cleaned properly. So after long working hours of working 8 hours a day, the costumers were taking the dresses and cleaning them properly and doing it again. I really like to go lengthy takes. I don't like to cut in between. Here I had a long discussion with my editor on having this group coming into a formation. The idea is like all the guys are with Jake and all the girls are with Ram and Beam, and I wanted this mixed crowd to separate into the girls coming behind Ram and Beam and the boys coming behind Jake. It was clearly established in the top angle shot. For me, it would have been nice if this entire thing was in one single shot. So you can see all the girls coming from the mixed position, and you see from the mixed position all the boys going here. And at the same time, we see Jake is moving this way and Ram and Beam are moving towards this way. It was very well choreographed. But the editor said the punch would be nice if we cut it into 3 or 4 cuts. Well, sometimes even the director, you have to give in to your technicians. I must have seen this song many times, not just on the editing table. Even after the release, I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to the streaming platforms and watch the song again. I watched the background dancers. I became a fan of these guys. You can see they are really acting like pros. They are not just dancing, but they had to do the steps wrong sometimes, and they have to express that they are not doing it properly and collapse one by one. I like each and every dancer here. This guy, how they were performing, and you should also see the girls, how Jenny goes back and he pulls her again, the expressions, how the girl just falls down. They're tired, but still really enjoying it. This girl, I think it's a very beautiful frame by Sindhil. He got that dark dressed girl in the foreground whereas the action is happening in the background. One of the inspirations for me for these kind of frames is a completely different thing. In 10 Commandments, when the sea is parting, there is a shot of 3 ladies watching what is happening in front of them, and the arrangement is like a painting. It's not exactly like that, but a kind of inspiration is from there. And look at the guy's expression when Jake falls down. These guys, absolutely perfect. Tarak and Sharan are really exceptionally good dancers. I always feel dance is not about how acrobatic you are, how perfectly you can do your step. There are 2 important things. One is that you should really enjoy your dance. Only then can audience really get the enjoyment out of your dance. And second thing is, like, in every moment on the dance, you are conveying something to the audience, some kind of emotion. They really infused that energy. They're conveying that even though we are humiliated by you, we have this weapon of giving it back to you. Quite a subtle and difficult emotion to portray, but these 2 guys nailed it. So the Indians have won. Actually, the story is over, but we know that N.T. Rama Rao and Ram Charan are 2 top heroes, commercial heroes, and the fans would love to see them compete against each other. They continue the dance, looking at each other like, okay, we defeated them. What about you and me? That wow expression of Jenny is the best. There are countless messages, memes, everything saying that The entire audience expression towards the song is exactly that. And when this shot was made, the dust really flew. Everyone in the unit were coming into the tent and like peeking in, looking in, can we say that again? Can we play this again? This was the shot that everyone really, really loved. She's rooting for Beam Akhtar at that point of time, and he sees that Jenny is in love with Akhtar and he loses. Being his innocent self, he doesn't get it. He continues dances and he finishes it. For me, Naatu Naatu, one of the reasons why I think it is such a hit is not just because of the music, not just because of the dance, because there is a beautiful story in itself. The entire story of RRR is within that 10 minutes of Naatu Naatu lead scene and the complete song. No one in America or across the world really knows the meaning of the lyrics, but it is the catchiness of the lyric, the way the flows. I think that is, the credit should be given to Chandra Bose, the lyricist. We had a blast shooting it. We had a blast enjoying the audiences having the blast. Thank you everyone for who were involved in Naatu Naatu.